Hi guys, I'm Andrew and today I'm gonna show you how I made the Andreon intro. So for this project we're gonna use three programs: Adobe After Effects, Premiere Pro and FL Studio, because I'm gonna show you how you can do both the video and the audio for your intro. First of all, in Adobe After Effects, where we're gonna do most of our compositing, I have the master composition and I'm gonna give you an overview of each individual compositions. So in composition 1 I do have a camera and the Andreon text, which is this one. The effect that I've used is called shatter. I've already searched for it, and what you can do is basically drag it onto your text and then you can start modifying whatever you want. What you can do with it is you have two forces that you can modify to get the effect that you desire, and also you have physics such as gravity and for example the particles here, you can see they have a medium amount of gravity when they fall down in the beginning. So if you use the shatter effect, it will be reversed, so you will have the text and then it will get shattered, but I've turned it around in order for the text to be composed of those shattered particles. Here I have the background. What I've done is basically made a black solid. So in order to make a solid, you go to Layer, New, make a solid with whatever color you want, but in order to make a vignette you need a black solid. So that's what I've done. You can see here this mask. So in order to have only my corners blacked out, I've used this mask. You can get it from here. So press Q and then drag it down and select the Ellipse Tool, because that's the shape that you want, and then you can modify whatever you want. So for example, in order to see it, I've activated the gray solid. You can modify the opacity, the feathering, which is another important thing about it, and I've made two shades of gray, a light gray and a, let's say, normal gray, and you can see how each of them look like. You can even combine them and get the result that you want. I personally like this normal gray here. I think it looks great. You can also place the mask a little bit lower, and it will make the effect of a light bouncing up. There are a lot of ways that you can do this. Okay, then I have a light. So it will give me a little bit more depth and some light that shines from the text. And then one of the most important things is the lens flare. So After Effects has three built-in lens flares. I've chosen the 105mm prime, as you can see here, and I basically press the stopwatch and make two key points here and here, and I've animated this movement. You can use a number of key points you want, but for this project 2 was enough. I've also modified the flare brightness and how it blends with the original. I've also applied a directional blur. I originally wanted to use Gaussian blur, but the directional blur gave it a more a better blur for movement. So as you can see here, the light seems to be blurred out in the way that it is moving. So it makes it look a lot more natural. So this is the master composition, as you can see, and I also have a camera here that I've animated in order to have this rotating look to it. And what you should keep in mind is that composition 1, the one with text, the one that I actually wanted to be seen by the camera as a 3D layer, needs to be selected from here, because otherwise it will be considered a 2D layer and the camera will have no effect on it. Okay, then I have to master the video with transitions and color correction. You should go to Premiere. Let's go to Premiere. Here in Premiere, you can see what I've done. So I have the adjustment layer. With the adjustment layer, I've basically modified the input layers in order to give it a more contrasty look and better colors in general. I've also added a lot of transitions, because most of the mastering here is made out of transitions, because they are simple to apply and they give you a very interesting look and movement to your intro. So in the beginning I've used a film dissolve, which you can see what it does. It slowly brings back the animation. Then in the ending I've used a simple dip to black, which looks good and it's easy to apply. You just take them from the video transition, so like dissolve, and get them from here. But in order to give it a more interesting look and more movement, I've selected the eraser tool, which you can press C to bring it on, and made a few cuts. So here I made a cut that it shouldn't be there. Okay, so I've made 2 cuts here, and I'm going to show you what those cuts do. And I'm going to show you here, where this cut was meant for nothing, how you can apply a certain effect. So like deep to white, you can see what it does. I don't want that there. So I've done this with the additive dissolve in order to give it the look of a flashlight, let's say. And a funny thing is that when I've made the music for it, the second additive dissolve synchronized perfectly with the music, and also the process of dipping to black. And now for the music part, I'm going to use FL Studio, which is a music program preferred by electronic music producers, but you can make all sorts of music in it, and it's pretty much perfect for making music for movies and intros and sound effects and whatever you want. So in the pattern 1, I've used Contact 5, which is a plugin for FL Studio, and I've used a library called Action Strings. What that basically does is, you can see here in my piano roll that I have only 2 notes, but if I select pattern here, you can see that they are repeating it themselves. So there is not only 1 note, it's not like that. It basically splits up the note, which makes it a lot easier than basically placing a lot of notes like this. In the second pattern, I have made the beats, which I've replaced them with something from a music library, and I've come up with something that sounded nice and it was simple to do. Okay, then in the pattern 3 I made a simplified version of that. And in the 4th pattern I have a plugin called Nexus, and I've chose an arpeggio that sounds good with only 2 notes that repeat themselves. It sounds something like this, which adds a little bit of variety to it. Now if I select the song and hit play, I'm gonna see how the whole project sounds. And you can see those arpeggios here, that they are adding some very nice variety. They are very good for this intro. And that pretty much wraps it up from here to here to here. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. We will have a lot more tutorials coming soon. Also our music projects and future tutorials in which I will show you how to animate audio in After Effects. So if you're making music and you're posting it on YouTube but you don't make a music video for it, it'll be a lot more interesting to watch. Also, make sure to subscribe to the Andreon YouTube channel, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.